Alright. Well, GoPro hat looks a little funny, I know, but that's how I get some good clips for POV driving. So we're going to be heading out to the lake. I know the hat looks a little funny, but it helps me get the clips. Alright, let's roll the windows down. Short little blip there. You know what I need? I need my sunglasses. Manual transmission cars. A lot of controversy. Some people love them, but a lot of people like to hate on them too. I mean, us as car people love them because it brings you a thrill. When you drive a manual transmission car and you're shifting through the gears yourself, it makes you feel more connected to the car. It lets you to have more control. You get to control when your shifts are, so that way you can time everything the way you want it to be. And it helps you control how your car sounds, even with rev matching and downshifting and all that. And that's why car people love manual transmission cars, because they're just more fun to drive. And that's why non-car people don't get it, and they say, why not just have an automatic? It's easier. I mean, technically yes, it's easier, but it's not as fun, because that's why non-car people don't get it. You know, they view cars as a way to get from point A to point B, and that's it. Whereas car people, their car is like a canvas, and they're the artists. And it's a way for them to express themselves and to show their creativity and to make the car the way that they want it to be, to build a car however they want. And that's why it's important, you know, that we don't hate on each other's build, because as much as I hate Evos, you know, I respect Evo owners. WRX and Evo owners respect each other in the real world. That's just a funny thing, you know? Like, Subaru owners make fun of each other for head gaskets and ringland failures and all that. But the reality is we respect all builds because we're all car people, and we all respect each other because it's our creativity. It's how we wanted to build that car. And so we respect each other's opinions like that, because it's our own choice. And being able to express your own choices through a car is how some people just can relieve stress or a bunch of other things, you know? And so that's really what it comes down to. And so that's why you gotta be careful not to hate on people's build, because it means a lot to them, you know? And so everybody's gotta be respectful of each other, and that's why there's so much hate in the car community. And automatics, technically, going back to that, are faster, but again, it just helps you feel more connected. Listen to that. Woo, let's go. Alright, so this car, naturally aspirated Subaru, EJ engine, not that powerful, but it's a Subaru, so it sounds good. That boxer engine, that flat four engine, which means the pistons are opposing each other. They go horizontal to the road instead of firing up and down or in a V pattern or any other pattern. And so that's what gives it that more rumbly feeling, that rumbly sound, is that boxer engine. And it's really a beautiful sound, especially if you like Subarus and you've grown up around Subarus, you know that sound. Now this is a naturally aspirated Subaru, so there's not too much power or anything behind that sound, but it's still a nice sound to have. And I could make it even more rumbly if I had unequal length headers, but I don't. But maybe someday. There's always a list of things you can do to your car. Always. Always, always, always. like, you know what, Dad, you're kind of limiting my options. And I didn't know how I felt about a manual transmission car, but it grew on me fast. It's so much fun to drive. It's whenever I have to drive an automatic, I'm looking for a clutch. I'm going to put my hand on the shifter when I slow down. It's boring in an automatic. I mean, there's nothing to do. It's like, whatever. But driving a manual transmission car, you can have fun. No matter how much of a slow car. You could have a Toyota Corolla. I don't care what it is. You could have a car like this, a Toyota Corolla or anything. But if it's a 5-speed or more manual transmission car, it's going to be more fun just because of that fact. And that's manual transmission cars. I keep going on about it just because that's how much I like them. Because they are really a lot of fun. Got a big trailer. Wait, he's just turning around. So much fun. I mean, even though this isn't a WRX and it doesn't have all the power, it's enough for me, you know? I'm not going to be going extremely fast anyways, just because, but it's fun. It's a fun little car. It's technically can be more reliable than a WRX because the way I drive it won't have ringling failure as easily. Hopefully I don't blow a head gasket. Another thing people worry about is learning manual transmission, and I'm not gonna lie, it's not easy. I mean, it's not hard, but it's not like super easy. Like, it takes you have to learn it, but once you do, it just comes naturally. It's like as easy as driving an automatic. I mean, you have to shift, but it's not difficult, is what I'm saying. There will be times when you stall at a stoplight when you're first learning, but one of the best ways to learn standard is drive it by yourself, because then you don't have anybody else to rely on. I mean, obviously be safe, but you know, that's one of the only ways you're gonna learn. But there will be times when you stall at a stoplight when you're brand new. There's times when I stall at a stoplight and I've been driving for years, and it just happens sometimes, you know, you just, whoops. But I mean, it doesn't happen like often to me anymore, but when you first start, it will happen. And so, that is going to be it for this one, guys. Thank you. See you in the next one.